Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about why these high car prices are killing consumers financially. Unfortunately, the greed by a lot of auto manufacturers and dealers are essentially pricing out most of their customer base, and the ones that already bought cars from them are drowning in high payments and negative equity. And despite what people say on YouTube about a car market crash, I don't see that happening anywhere. I've been looking for deals in my town and surrounding areas for some time, and I don't see anyone offering massive discounts. I even tried to negotiate over the phone, and most won't budge, unless it comes to things like full size trucks. This all started back during 2020 and 2021. Remember the chaos during COVID? It wasn't just about toilet paper shortages. The auto industry got flipped upside down, and consumers bore the brunt of it. Supply chain issues, chip shortages, and dealership markups all worked together to create a perfect storm that exploited us, the consumers. Now, fast forward to today, and lots of customers find themselves in negative equity. For those unfamiliar, negative equity means you owe more on your car loan than it's worth. And here's the kicker: banks are starting to say, nope, we're not rolling over any more of this negative equity. They've had enough of this nonsense from the dealers. The dealers were getting customers to sign up for loans that were 110 to 120%, some cases even more, of the value of the vehicle. And a lot of these banks, make no mistake about it, turned a blind eye and wrote those loans. And now, with the increase in the repos, banks are not playing this game anymore. So, what happens to when the banks stop rolling over this negative equity? It inflates the used car market. That's a brutal side effect of these high car prices. They're screwing over the customers in both the new and the used car market. People who would normally buy a new car just can't afford a lot of these prices, and then they go into the used car market only to realize that the prices there are just as ridiculous. And many of them are just forced to go back and pay whatever a lot of these new car dealers are asking for.
Drivers are facing the worst sticker shock in a generation. Used car prices are now up 25% than 5 years ago.
Yeah, loan interest rates are up and insurance prices have skyrocketed.
You might be wondering, why on earth are we here? Well, it boils down to auto manufacturers chasing higher margins. Instead of focusing on volume, they're prioritizing profits per vehicle. And this shift is creating friction with banks and dealerships. The dealerships don't want these overpriced vehicles on their lots. They are hard to sell and are costing them a lot of money because of the interest they pay each month on them. Banks, on the other hand, like I said earlier, don't want to write loans for these overpriced, add-on ridden cars that customers already have a hard time affording. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room: the quality of cars these days. Many cars on the market are simply plastic junk. Manufacturers are cutting corners with cheaper made parts, and we're seeing turbocharged engines that sound great on paper, but often fall short in reliability. Add to that a mishmash of over-engineered electronics that tend to fail prematurely, and you've got vehicles that are costing more but delivering less in terms of durability and dependability. It's frustrating to pay top dollar for a car that feels like it's falling apart after just a few years. Now, we're seeing banks and dealers essentially at war with auto manufacturers. Banks are hesitant to lend large sums on overpriced vehicles, and dealers are struggling to move inventory because of inflated prices. And let's not forget about electric vehicles. Some manufacturers bet big on EVs, thinking they'd dominate the market. But when those bets didn't pay off as expected, they turned to consumers to foot the bill for their miscalculations. That's right, you and I are paying the price for their failed strategies. So, what's the bottom line? High car prices aren't just a minor inconvenience, they're a financial disaster for many consumers. From negative equity to inflated markets, corporate missteps, and even the decline in vehicle quality, it's a system that desperately needs fixing. Thanks for sticking around for this deep dive. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.